What's up guys, Mixed by Jocelyn here, back with another video of Mixed Up, and today we're looking at the brand new plugin from Safari Pedals, HARK Phaser. Let's get into it. Boom! Okay guys, what's going on? So I got an email the other day from Safari Pedals telling me about their new plugin, HARK Phaser, and would I like to try it out? So I was like, yeah, cool, download it. I like all their other plugins. So I've just pulled it up and I'm gonna give you guys my first thoughts. I've watched a couple videos on sort of like the basics of how the plugin works and what it's doing, you know, and it's like everything that Safari Pedals do. They like to keep it simple but elevated in terms of the sound and how creative you can be with the plugin. So I doubt this is going to be any different, but let's have a look. So basically what I've done, I loaded up a couple of samples of what I might put like a phaser on, and we'll just listen to what it's doing. So firstly I have this guitar loop, but before we do that, let's pull up the plugin and let's actually have a look at it. Okay, so
we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
sorry to interrupt the video guys, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my Logic Pro templates. Up on my website now, I have my mixing template, which is the template that I use and start all my mixes with. And I have my recording template, which is also the template that I start all my recording sessions with. They're brilliant templates. They have everything laid out, all of the buses, all of the channels, my go-to stuff, and it's a perfect starting block if you're mixing. And the recording template, I mean, it's ready to go. You've got everything you need there. All the plugins can be swapped in and out. So if you're interested, check the link below. It's a brilliant way of supporting me and this channel. And I personally think it's a brilliant product to use in your recording sessions or your mixing sessions. Nice one. Anyway, back to the video. Safe. Boom. So as always, the graphics, they look great. I love all of their styles of plugins. And yeah, this one definitely hasn't let you down. You got the cool HARK. It's very kind of like 1980s, 1970s rock vibe, which is really cool. And in terms of like the interface, it's quite simplistic as always, which is nice. So we have our input, we have our output, we have our depth, which I guess is like how much of the movement is happening with the phase. We have the feedback, which I guess is like how prominent it's being like in the mix sort of thing. We have the filter, which is obviously where the phasing is happening in the blend. And then we have the rate, which is, from what I saw, this is a LFO powered phaser. So it's being like generated, the movement's being generated by an LFO. And I guess that's sort of like the rate in which, how fast the LFO is moving, so like how quickly you're getting like the pulsating feeling of a phaser. What did he say? Let's have a listen to it. So, you know, a go-to one for me is guitars. I like to have a little bit of phase going on my guitars sometimes, and then we also have a vocal stack. So we'll just turn it on and let's have a listen. Without. So this is like more of a sample guitar with vocals in. It's like if I was making a beat, I'd probably throw something like this in, chop it up, make it my own, add some drums to it, you know what I mean? So already that phasing is moving very nicely through the sample, which is very cool. So let's start turning some dials and see what we can get. See how the phasing's moving to the lower end of the spectrum like that. That's nice. More of it. And as I said, that LFO is working now, so it's moving faster. This is with it high. And then low for a more subtle effect. Bypass. That sounds really nice. And we also have the width on it as well, so we can pull out the stereo from the phaser, and then we have like a blend so we can do sort of like a parallel with it as well. And also, nice touch, it has auto gain, so it will set the output and input and then link these together. So the more input you're giving it, the less output, vice versa, which is nice. And then as always, we have the bypass button. It does also come stacked with a bunch of presets that if you guys decide to download this and check it out, you know, go through these, they're really, really cool. So, and that being said, I'm gonna show you one that I found and we're gonna use it on these vocal stacks here, and hear how that sounds on vocals. So I found this preset, Vocal Hawk's Magic. Let's have a listen. So we'll listen to it with it off.
Seasons come and go. Seasons come and go. Everybody home. Everybody home.
And then with it on.
Seasons come and go. Seasons come and go. Everybody home. Everybody home.
Really rich, and then very subtle on the low end. It sounds very rounded, which is nice for a phaser, because sometimes phasing can bring out a bit of sharpness, which we can also get from this plugin. But if you keep the filter low, the feedback low, and then work on that rate, you'll get a really nice blend of the phaser and the original signal. And for samples like that, I find it really nice, because sometimes, again, if I'm making a record, if I'm making a beat, or I'm mixing a song and there's like some vocal samples in there, I like to add things like phasers like this on to round it off and give it its own sonic spot in the record. So maybe it's not clashing with the main or any other instruments, it's creating its own little pocket, but it's still heard because it's unique and it's moving and it's pulsating, giving it just a bit of magic. So as always, initial thoughts on this plugin, just from a quick little listen to and a quick little demo on a couple of different sounds. It sounds like a great phaser. It's definitely one of the best phasers that I've got in my arsenal. I'll be using it a lot more, and I highly suggest you guys play about with it for, you know, a nice little plugin. It's very, very powerful and it's very, very fun. And just like all of their plugins, very creative, very well built, and they sound great. So can't recommend it enough. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.2 out of 10 for a phaser. So yeah, great for me. I hope you guys check it out and enjoy it. If you do, I'll leave a link below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Safe. Boom.